All right, welcome back to Questionable Lock. This is our second show. We're here for all your questionable locks for the weekend coming up. I'm Taylor Stahl,
I'm Carson Marsh.
And I'm Sebastian Natashi.
and we're going to start off with Carson's number one team, the Dolphins.
Very
And he's gonna
exciting
start us
night.
off, yeah.
Yeah, first primetime night for the boys. +3 on the spread, +135 underdogs tonight. Sebastian, I don't know if you're betting this game, but I'm all over my Fins tonight against a Jaguars team that the public is hot on. And hey, I'm all up for Minshew mania, but as soon as Fitzpatrick comes in with that nice beard, I'm like, hey, you got to defer.
and you know, that Fitzpatrick magic, Minshew mania. I haven't really been following these two teams too much. I know the Dolphins are your squad, but an exciting game. Minshew seems to kind of just put the Jaguars in spots to win when you don't expect them to. Dolphins tonight, how they look in the first week, CJ? What are you expecting out of them tonight?
All right, well, so first week they played the Patriots. Didn't look too good. They managed to not cover the spread. They were really close, though. It ended with a Fitzpatrick interception in the end zone. Fitzpatrick has this thing where he does great his first year on teams, and then his second year doesn't do too well. We saw it in Tampa on the other part of the Sunshine State. But, against the Bills last week, they looked way better. They covered. They lost by 2. Close game. The score doesn't indicate how far that game kind of was. But I will say that I am confident about my boys tonight. I think the Jaguars are not that great of a team. I think Brian Flores is a better coach. I just think that this is stacking up to be the Dolphins' first win. And if it's not, I'm saying put Tua in.
I'd have to agree with you on that because I'm scared that Tua is going to have to come into this game because I think Minshew is going to give him a run for his money, if I'm being honest. I hate to say that, but
we'll
see.
I'm with Taylor on this one. I'm taking the Jags tonight. I'm taking the Jags.
All right, but as a value bettor, you have to agree that +3 or I guess -3 for the Jags is way too high. Too high.
It's obviously don't know too much, like I said, about those two teams.
Yeah.
But that's why that's going to be my questionable lock is taking the Jags tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just because
I'm looking at straight numbers here. I don't know the betting laws. I'm looking at straight stats.
And your confidence in the Dolphins, someone's got to be confident in the Jaguars, and it's going to. I'll take it. I'll take the Jaguars tonight.
So something interesting to point out: the public is all over the Jags tonight, but the public was also all over the Saints. And the public usually does well with NFL bets, at least in the first beginning of the year, or in the first weeks of the year, I should say. But I'm saying you fade the public on this one. Now, over, under, yeah. Get a little fancy with that. You might want to hit the under. These are two teams that, Jags been scoring a lot. Dolphins usually play to the level of competition. However, Dolphins do have a lot of talent that has not really been breaking out in the last couple games. They have Jordan Howard in the backfield. They got Devontae Parker, who has actually been a great fantasy receiver. You got Byron Jones, too. Byron Jones is out tonight, but you also got DJ Chark for the Jaguars out tonight, too. I just think if you had a night where you want Byron Jones to be out, maybe get some rest, it's tonight. You got DJ Chark out. We'll see how the offense matches up with the Dolphins' defense, except Dolphins' defense, defensive pass rush, I should say, has been getting to the quarterback, was presenting Josh Allen with a little bit of challenges. I mean, he's a fast guy who's running out of the pocket. But I don't know. I think Minshew mania ends tonight / brief hiatus tonight.
Well, I definitely respect the local hometown support for sure. We'll see how that ends up tonight. But let's get to the big
More
game.
More on that with the Heat game, Taylor. But let's go, Sebastian. What's another good NFL game you have in your sights for this week?
Well, everyone's looking to Monday night. Chiefs Ravens, Mahomes versus Lamar. High scoring game. The same, believe it's 49, the over under for this game as well. The Chiefs opening as 3-point or 3.5-point underdogs versus the Ravens actually in week 3. Obviously two of the most explosive offenses in the league, two of the best quarterbacks in the league. What are you looking for in this game that you guys think is gonna sway the game in one team's favor?
Well, so I actually just checked my phone a minute ago, and I think the line actually has gotten betted up to 52.5 for the over. I think
I see that. You're right.
Something with advanced metrics is telling me that I think 70% of the people are on the over. Yeah. See, I like that. It's public bet. I like that. Except you have the reigning Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl champions at +3.5 on some books, +3 on others. I don't know how you take -3.5 for the Ravens. The Ravens they've been playing outstanding. They got Dobbins in the backfield. They got Lamar in the backfield. Lamar is a passing running back. I mean, it's hard to compete, but Kansas City Chiefs, they have a great defense. If the pass rush for the Ravens can be you give Mahomes a lot of time in the pocket, I say it's a close game. I say Chiefs could definitely take it. I'm surprised it's not a pick 'em, to be honest. But I think last week's performance against the Chargers kind of has people betting on the Ravens because they've been playing outstanding. But Ravens haven't faced this level of competition yet. So,
yeah.
I will say, though, the main problem with the Chiefs last week against the Chargers was their offensive line and how the Chargers kind of dominated that. And the Ravens this offseason, I feel like, made a lot of moves to strengthen their defensive line and to put a lot of guys up front, in preparation for that. So, like you said, they've looked really good, 2-0 so far this year. I think, it might be a tough night for the Chiefs, at least at the start, like it was against the Chargers, where Baltimore is setting the tempo. They're doing whatever they want on the defensive side of the ball and slowing down Mahomes. But if they can keep him scrambling and not give him time in the pocket, they'll have obviously a lot more success.
Yeah. I think the Chargers, honestly, I think it was a wake-up call for the Chiefs, and I think that this is going to be a great matchup of a game, with these two teams, with these two lines. I think it's going to be a good game to watch on a Monday.
Adding on to your point, Sebastian, if we look at the Chargers defense as a whole, I think they were a huge underdog because of their offense. And if it wasn't for a doctor puncturing Tyrod's lungs, then we would all be a lot richer. But I think people overlook the defensive pass rush of the Chargers. You got Joey Bosa. You have an absolute monster on the edge who's against the offensive line who, whatever. You got Mahomes behind you. He's going to help you out running out of the pocket and stuff. And we saw him scrambling more times than we have and when I say recent memory here, I mean only in the last, 2 weeks, some of the Super Bowls, some of the playoffs as well. But I think people do forget the Chargers have a really good pass rush. They have a really good defense. And I don't know. I just think that Mahomes always presents a challenge, and he's going to present a challenge in prime time like always.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really tough to pick against Mahomes, obviously, coming off the Super Bowl. You want to give him that level of respect, but we know what Lamar can do, and that matchup versus the Chiefs defense might be a little bit easier for Lamar than Patrick Mahomes against the Ravens defense, but still, like you said, really tough to take the Ravens -3.5 when you know that the pedigree of the Chiefs, and they've been in these kinds of games before, and these high-scoring games even where we've seen them just get going offensively. It doesn't look like anyone can stop them. So this one's questionable for me as well, but I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs at +3.5. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens won, obviously, but that's a tough one to bet against with the Chiefs. And anytime you get the defending champs like that as the underdogs, it's one that you have to look at.
On a 2-0 streak too. I mean, they're both on a 2-0 streak, but I think they're ready.
I'm gonna actually have to throw my questionable lock at the Chiefs +3.5 too. I could this could be one of those games where Vegas just knows the score. I could totally see the Chiefs losing by a field goal. But if you're going to give me +3.5, I'm going to have to take it because I could see the Chiefs also winning. They could win by a lot. I mean, the Ravens can keep up. It could be a shootout. If pass rush gets after Lamar, I mean, we'll see in the playoffs. He didn't look too good against Tennessee, who had a good defensive pass rush. We'll see. But if you're going to give me +3.5 with a team that was down all game last week, looked terrible, and then 2 plays later they're up, or 2 plays later they're tied, I should say. That quick strike ability, I just think gives the Chiefs my questionable lock for the week. But
absolutely. All right, Sebi, let's talk about your boys. They didn't do so hot this weekend, so let's hope that they figure it out.
So we'll move on to the Lakers. Obviously, Game 4 tonight at 6:00. Lakers Nuggets, and I'm one of those people who thought this was going to be Lakers in 5 or 6. So obviously they're going to lose a game. There are a lot of people freaking out that they lost, but it's going to happen. The Nuggets are good enough. Jamal Murray got hot. Lakers, they played well in the fourth, coming back from being down 20. But take a look at tonight. Nuggets +6 is the line. So Lakers 6-point favorites. Over under at 214.5. I believe last game was 206. So a pretty stern rise in that. I'm confident in the Lakers tonight. I think that, LeBron hasn't been playing his best. He hasn't been getting to the line too much. He hasn't been too aggressive. He knows, the implications of this game. Obviously, there's lots of jokes about Lakers don't want to go up 3-1 because then it's over. The Nuggets come back automatically. But they have to take care of business tonight. And like we've seen with the Nuggets, over the last 2 games almost, it's been very even. They've been playing hard. And with the Nuggets, I feel like there's between 2 and 10 minutes where they look like the best team in the league. And however long that they do that for per game decides if they're going to win. Last game, they looked unbeatable for the first 2.5 quarters. Deficit was too much for the Lakers to come back in the fourth, even though they looked really good. But I'm taking the Lakers tonight. It's hard for me to bet against them at all. Last game was my one that I thought that they were gonna lose.
I remember talking about this.
Game 7 kind of thing for the Nuggets because you can't go down 3-0. They pulled through. They got the win, so they're going to be playing with confidence tonight. But what are you guys thinking for this one?
Taylor, what do you think before I open up?
I mean, I think the most consistent player out there has been AD recently. I love watching him play. I think he has just been draining constantly. Just LeBron hasn't really been there for me that much. I don't really know much about the Nuggets. They came out with a win, which is big for them. But I see the Lakers taking it right now. I see AD and LeBron not liking to take an L right now. So I'm going with Sebi on this one again.
So I'm actually going to have to play devil advocate. I bet on the Lakers series price. I think they're the better team. I think they're going to win. But you look at the last 2 games, and Lakers win by buzzer beater, for one thing. Right. Anthony Davis comes in clutch. Then you have last night, or 2 nights ago, I should say, Lakers go on a 19-2 run, still end up losing, but the Lakers look gassed. I will say they were running. Anthony Davis wasn't even running down all the way on the court. Not to say the Lakers won't win tonight, but I think +7 for a team that kind of has their confidence back is a lot. I think this could go either way. I'm staying away from it, but I'm just going to have to play devil's advocate and say Nuggets +7.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like it's really tough betting on any sort of LeBron game when you know that if he didn't play that well in the previous 2, if he's on tonight and AD's on, Lakers win. They could win by 25 easily. So
easy.
At +7, I'm going to stay away from this game too. Obviously, being a little more biased, but that over/under, I expect it to be more of a lockdown game today. Lakers in the fourth quarter last game started playing zone. They might throw that out there again today. Just mix it up against. We've seen that a lot in the Heat Celtics series. Both those teams going from man back to zone, mixing it up a lot, just trying to switch it up on each other. So it's going to be a battle tonight. The Nuggets obviously are good enough to be in this position. They've earned it, but Lakers looking to go up 3-1, just like the Heat did last night. So I'm taking the Lakers tonight straight up.
Florida represent.
Yeah, Florida represent. Hero, honestly, the Heat needed a hero last night, as cringy as that for me to say, but he put up 37 points, the second highest total for a player under the age of 20 since Magic Johnson had 40. You gotta be hyped. I'm thinking maybe a while back in the playoffs, Embiid for maybe Bam and Hero. No way. Build the team around Bam. Maybe Giannis will come. Or sorry. Let me rephrase that. Build a team around Hero, because I love that. This kid is putting us up 3-1 on the Celtics, and hopefully it's not what was it, 2012, I want to say, when the Heat were down 3-1 against the Celtics. The thing is, Celtics don't have LeBron. I will say, though, Tatum had he had 0 points first half. Right. At least 28. I feel like maybe
20, I think it was 28.
I think it was 25.
30.
Oh, I thought it was 25.
He had 28 at one point, but I don't know if he scored again.
I think he may have had 31. But look, Boston, you have something special with Tatum. I mean, it's great. Not your year, though. Sorry.
Hey, I mean, man.
Year. Never Boston's year.
That dude was born in 2000. He was born in 2000 doing grown men like that last night. So, we know he's the truth. He's had that confidence for a while. The series, to me, is still definitely not over. I mean, from a Celtics I was about to say from a Celtics fan perspective, those words can't be uttering that.
Not allowed.
From the Celtics perspective,
Yeah.
in a game where your best player doesn't score at all in the first half, Marcus Smart 2 of 10 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3, and a rookie gives you 37, and you still only lose by a couple. Obviously, every game in this series has been really close, and that's partly why I don't think it's over. The Celtics, I believe, are favored in Game 5. Still,
They've been favored almost every game.
They've been. Yeah.
So this series, and once it gets to 3-2, man, that pressure starts coming. You start worrying about that Game 7, and once it gets to 7, anything can happen. So the Heat got to come out with some energy tomorrow. They can't let the Celtics roll all over them because, Celtics did that to the Raptors when the Raptors were trying to come back, and they'll come out ready to play. Marcus Smart, we had a better last night, bet $250,000 on him scoring 13 points or more, ended with 10. So he's going to be, he's a hooker. He's going to be ready to go. The Celtics, I feel like, are going to hit a lot of shots tomorrow. But the thing about the Heat is, even though Tyler might not be the one going tomorrow, someone's going to do it.
Yeah.
Someone's going to step up. And I honestly don't think, like you said about Bam in here, I don't think we can talk enough about Bam and like the mismatch that he creates for the Celtics. He is killing Daniel Tice. Like, man, that is not even like
matches up very well.
The switching, the point center he's been doing, he is killing them. And that's why Brad Stevens knows there's nothing he can do about that. That's what, like, he's happy to let Hero cook, but Bam is the one that they really have to watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the bet you just said? It was
$250,000 bet for Marcus Smart to score 13 points. And
I cannot imagine betting that much money on a person's ability to shoot a basketball.
On Marcus Smart too.
Especially a player who's not a shooter. Is this guy high? I think
had to be.
I think we might need to introduce a segment called "Are You High?" Because player props are 50-50. That you would have to be high to bet on that. Why? I mean, Marcus Smart, he's been playing great, but he's not a shooter. Like, he's been shooting well, but he's not a shooter. He's not a shooter.
Player. He's not a shooter. He just shoots it.
Against the SPO zone, you go up against the SPO zone. You got all these players running different areas on the court. SPO knows. SPO outcoaches Stevens for one thing, and then he utilizes SPO zone.
Yeah, that's our high guy for the week. That's our high guy for the week.
Absolutely.
Goes to the better.
Absolutely. Congrats, sir.
Any other player for 13 points, maybe, but Marcus Smart, he gives you 10 shots, he can't get you 13 points. Come on, man. You deserve to lose that bet.
Yeah, he didn't deserve that money.
And then, Seth, do you want to talk about your
we got a little bit more basketball. Conference finals on the WNBA side as well.
Woo!
Seattle Storm versus Minnesota Lynx is the game tonight. Storm up 1-0 after a buzzer beater in Game 1. The other series, the Las Vegas Aces, number 1 team in the league with the WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson versus the Connecticut Sun. Both of those series really good so far. The Seattle Storm game was crazy. The end of that game, they're obviously super talented. Breanna Stewart is just completely unguardable. Been unguardable. But the Lynx coming off an upset win over the Sparks, the 5 seed, they're not backing down. So a really close game there. Lynx for Game 2 tonight, just starting actually right now, Lynx at +8.5. So, that's a tough one for me because, like I said, the Storm are so good. But the way the Lynx are playing right now, I think for me, if I'm betting on that one today, I'm taking that Storm spread at 8.5. Breanna's going to get it going. They're going to get hot one of these games. And if they do it, it's, there's nothing the Lynx can do about it. They just don't have enough talent.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I'm not can't even devil advocate you.
It's like the first one you haven't devil advocated today.
Storm Dubs.
Storm Dubs.
Yeah, let's go Storm. Now the Sparks are out. Man, what were we doing?
All right. Well, unless you guys have anything, do you guys want to clarify your questionable locks of the week or?
Nah, I mean, I think it's clarified. I like Chiefs. Answer now.
We'll take the Chiefs, and I'm taking the Lakers tonight. And that's it, I think. Those are questionable locks.
Yeah, and can't wait to talk about baseball playoffs coming up soon next show for sure.
Yes, sir.
And make sure you tune in for our recap on Monday, our second recap, and we will see you next week.
All right. See you guys.
Adios.